University of Chicago. They're not in that school. I don't think we have 1% of black students. And in that area where he is, it has been completely demolished by the bulldozers.
There has been no integration in the Chicago area.
And nobody has attempted to rebuild it. We want to rebuild those areas. We want to rebuild this area. You know, we want to rebuild areas on the west side. And people say, why? It was a slum. The buildings was 150 and 30 and 40 years old. You know, not to say that that is the total lifespan of a building. But when a person buy a building that is already 30, 40 years old and he's unemployed, certain things occur that he might not can keep it up or get it back in shape. For example, this building here we are trying to buy, okay? This building is some 70 years old. Now, we need about $15,000 to rehabilitate it. And no bank will loan us the money, so we are doing a little tug pointing, etc. ourselves. But to totally rehabilitate it so it won't rain in it nowhere and to get it back up to a standard where it will survive another 20 years, we need to put about $15,000 worth of repairs in it.
How do you value the HUD policies in the black community?
HUD policies?
The HUD.
HUD policies.
Do you think they've been positive?
I look at HUD policies being similar to the SBA, the Small Business Association, and HUD are similar. They do the minimum they can to satisfy the natives, and that's about it. We don't expect them to do everything, but we do expect them to do at least what they did in post-war Germany, post-war Japan, and what they are planning to do and now are doing in post-war Vietnam. They rebuild it. They call this thing a Monroe Doctrine. But when we have, I could take you and you see all the buildings been torn down in certain areas. They don't have no plan to rebuild medium and low income kind of housing for people. I know people who are teachers and people who are on a high level in this community having extreme difficulty finding decent homes.
One of the complaints that the white residents in Market Park have been making is that east of Western, around Bell or Claremont, the houses that the black families are buying there are on the HUD program, and their objection is that through this program they can buy a house with very minimal down payment, and therefore they're not financially committed to the community. And so your movement is not only concentrating on the Market Park area, but throughout Chicago.
Our community, our organization, as the entire community, most aware people are concerned with the entire situation in Chicago. Housing is one of our priorities. Not to take housing from anybody, they need housing. But since there have been beatings and muggings, and you know about the cuttings of Ellington, and other families have been beaten and attacked in that area, what we did in Mississippi when the beatings and muggings took place by the Ku Klux Klan, we went to the people and solved them, and we're trying to go to these people and solve this situation in this particular park.
Do you think Market Park is an ethnic neighborhood?
Marquette Park could be called an ethnic neighborhood, but personally, I don't know the ethnic makeup. I just know I look at people and see they are white and...
Well, for example, there is a very large percentage of Lithuanians living there.
Well, if there are a large percentage of Lithuanians, I would have to know the percentage of other ethnics, etc. in the area, and I don't know. It may be Irish or Jewish, I don't really know.
You're a reverend, and there's quite a few churches in the Market Park area, both Protestant and Catholic. Do you have a working relationship with the ministers and the priests there?
Well, we've tried to reach some ministers, but we know that historically ministers of certain ethnics will not speak out on the issue to their parishioners, you know. They will hold issues back until the last moment. For example, many of the so-called people who joined the civil rights movement, they didn't join it until the very late in mid-'60s, you know, when the fight had been going on for years. And out of a kind of what we call a thing where one's conscience is bothering him, you know. Some people got involved. But how many ministers in that area would you have to get up on a Sunday morning and tell their people, say, look, people's rights must be preserved?
Are you acquainted with the cultural activities of the Lithuanians in Market Park?
You have told me about a few, but I'm aware of cultural activities by, you know, different groups. If they're German, I know, you know, I was in Germany for about 20 months. And I know the kind of cultural activities that occur in certain communities, as well as in the black community. People don't give us credit for any cultural activities, but the music around the world now is based on the culture of the so-called Negro slave of America, the rock music, the disco music, and etc. They don't give us any credit for, but that is our music. And we want a little credit for it. The dances that occur around the world are created by African American people, basically everywhere you go. When I got to Germany, the first thing I seen, I went to a German nightclub. You have a German festivity in the street. They would do the German dance, but they were also doing the twist.
Thank you, Reverend.
Yes, sir.